Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Evans here at Coastal Animal Hospital, where we make your and your pet's life better. Today, I want to talk to you about the confusing world of Distemper-Parvo virus vaccines because they have a ton of different names and it can be really confusing as to what it means. So hopefully I'll be able to clarify everything for you about this vaccine. So the typical components and the most core components of a Distemper-Parvo vaccine are actually three things. One is the distemper virus, and that's a really important one because that can kill puppies especially, and so it can affect a lot of their different organs. If it becomes neurologic in these puppies, if they become neurologic, then it's almost always fatal. So that's really important. Then there is the parvovirus, which a lot of us have known about parvovirus because, again, that's really, really infectious for puppies. They just have really bad diarrhea, get super sick, and highly, highly fatal without treatment. Then there's the other component, which we don't really talk about a lot, but it's also really important, and that's the adenovirus. And that can infect the liver or the eye, again, making dogs really, really sick, can be fatal if they get that. So distemper virus, adenovirus, parvovirus, that's the main core of these vaccines. To make it a little bit confusing, it's also known as DHP because adenovirus is also known as hepatitis virus. So if you see a DHP, it's the exact same thing as DAP, just has a different name, just there to confuse us. So the next thing that people add on to this distemper, adenovirus, parvovirus vaccine is the DAP vaccine. It can be DAPP, and that extra P can be for parainfluenza. Now, we don't include that in our injectable Distemper-Parvo vaccine because that's actually in our Bordetella vaccine or our kennel cough vaccine. So we have Bordetella plus parainfluenza and feel like we get a better immune response by doing it intranasally than we do subcutaneously with our Distemper-Parvo. So we don't include that and have a cleaner, just simpler vaccine, the Distemper-Parvo DAP, and then put the parainfluenza with a Bordetella. Then you can get a DAPPC, and that's a distemper, adeno, parainfluenza, and coronavirus. Now, this is one of those vaccines which is total quackery. It is not useful at all, and really I'm surprised it's even on the market. It's one of those things that I feel like a lot of vaccine clinics, the low-cost vaccine clinics, just try to upsell people, and because really there honestly is no benefit to it, and it is considered non-core, but still some people use it. So coronavirus, it can cause diarrhea, especially in neonates, very, very young puppies. However, we don't start vaccinating these dogs until at the earliest 6 weeks, but typically about 8 weeks. And by then, coronavirus has really done the worst it possibly will ever do to these puppies. And the vaccine is really not shown to actually decrease the diarrhea or fecal shedding of this at all. So there's really no point. And that's one of the components we take out and do not recommend because it's just something that can cause harm, really. I mean, you can have a vaccine reaction to it, and it's really not going to give them any benefit. And one of the reasons why we try to steer people away from these low-cost vaccine clinics because they're just trying to sell you more without actually being better. There's my soapbox. So that's DAPPC. Then there's also DHLPPC. And then L, if you see that in there, is for lepto. Leptospirosis is actually a serious disease, and it's something that can put animals into kidney failure and liver failure. The problem with it is that in San Diego, or the reason why we don't do it, is because in San Diego, there's really rare for that to occur. We have heard case reports of it being in the area, but again, I've heard maybe 1 or 2 in the 9 years that I've been here. So the problem with the vaccine, though, is that it's highly reactive, so a lot of dogs will have vaccine reactions to it, and the vaccine is required to be given every single year, and we don't think that it's worth the incidence of the vaccine reactions and these annual vaccines for a disease that's exceedingly rare. The only real other argument to give it is that this leptospirosis is potentially transmittable to people. So it's one of the only things we vaccinated against that is also, besides rabies, protecting people. But again, it's really rare, so we just don't really, the risk cost benefit ratio just is tipping away from us vaccinating against it. So those are all the different components that typically will be in the Distemper-Parvo vaccine. It can be just DAP like we give it here, DAPPLC. I mean, it can be huge. So if you're looking through old records and you're trying to distinguish what's going on and you're confused, just bring them in. We can help you kind of sort through it. But hopefully that provides a little bit of clarity behind this this very diverse vaccine ability, and why we're only giving just the DAP here at Coastal. If you have any questions, give us a call, 760-633-2254. I'm Dr. Brian Evans. Till next time.